Good morning, everyone. Let me turn this. Yeah, okay. I'll move out a little bit so the light box will not be in the way. Okay, let's get started. It's Friday, TGI Friday. How's everyone doing? Let me move my chair or stool up a little bit so you can see me more closer. I know some of you were saying you attending the class on your cell phone, and I was there a little bit, so I'm trying to move up so you can see me better. Uh, Good morning. In case this is first time you attend the class, my name is Violet Lee. Yes, and today I am so excited, and Bill Donnelly is going to be here. And if you attended the class before, you know how good Bill is. And of course, every time he can, and I follow him, and then my legs will feel really, really sore because Bill is such a solid person, and in terms of his knowledge and his training, his discipline, and it is great, and it really can help us to build up our strength and our internal energy. So you see, and he will be here in 30 minutes. So let's get started, okay? And first, hands to the side and shake. Gradually shake and moving your hands upward. Okay. Over your shoulders. Good. And over your head. Good. And now fingers point at the ceiling. Woo! Turn as fast as you can. Good. Okay. And now shake your hands downward. Good. And if you have no problems with your knees up and down, on your heels, good. And if you're sitting, you do the same thing and just up and down with your heels. Good. And now put your heel down and continues to shake, but slowly, and come to a stop. And feel the tingling sensation in your fingers. And now bring your two hands together. Turn your wrist to the front, to your right side, toward yourself, toward left and front. And now you go all the way around. Remember Wednesday I was talking about we should really turn our wrist all the way around to maintain the range of motion, not just back and forth, okay? And you should go all the way around. Very good. Keep going. Let's go for two more. Here's one and two. Now reverse. Let's see. And oh yeah, as Quill and Perez. And where you from? And thank you for joining the class. That's great. Okay, and now stop pushing your hands out. Feel the stretch in your spine, your neck. And now relax. Bring the hands to your waist. And now circle your elbows in a horizontal fashion. Bring the palms together. Turn palms down. Good. Very nice. And if you're standing, you can gently shifting your body weight right and left by folding your hip joints. Let's go for two more. Here's one and two. Good. Relax. Now gentle fist. Turn to your right side twice, then left. Okay. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stop. Good. Well, you're probably wondering, if you're new, you're wondering, why is she getting up and down? And well, I try to demonstrate all the movement for you, either sitting or standing, but you can choose what you want to do, either sitting or standing, okay? Very good. And now hands down and lower your head. Feel the gentle stretch in the back of your neck. Good. Up. Now tilt to your right shoulder. Up. Left shoulder. Back to center. Look at ceiling. Back to center. Over your right shoulder. Center. Left shoulder. Center. And now let's circle our neck. If you have any issue of doing that, you don't have to do it. You can skip this part. Okay. Do you hear the like a popping noise in your neck? Like I do? Good. Okay. And one more time. And now reverse to your left, back, right, and down. Keep going. Stop. Good. And now right arm up, close to your ear, moving forward and using your shoulder to turn your arm. By the way, my arms are so sore. And guess what? Yesterday I went hiking, and we actually picked a trail which says easy. However, we got lost. And so very soon I was on all four, climbing up. And as we were going down, I was on all five. So I guess my arm was, and the pushing, and so my arms are so sore. And now, Tian Sai, I say on all five, but actually I could not really put my butts down very much because there were a lot of dry needles on the ground. So when I put my butts down, it sure hurts. So I'm pretty much using my arm to support my body. So yeah, I got a very good workout for my arm. Okay, now reverse. Now, one good thing about living in Las Vegas is the weather is so nice here. So we can be very active outdoor all the time. And there are so many places to hike around the town. And last time. Okay, good. And the next one, gentle fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my God, really so. 5, 6, 7, 8, 3. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stop. Oh my. And now 2 hands together. And now using your hand, massage your kidneys. And now keep your head suspended. Turn your hip to right, back, left, and front. Keep going. This is the hip rotation, and you can do it sitting, and sitting is a little bit harder. Good. I see some of you are sharing this free lessons on Facebook. This is good. Every time people share, and I got a pop-up window. That's how I know. And you are sharing. Okay. And now reverse. Okay. Go the other direction. Okay. And last time. Good. And now 2 hands together. Massage your knees. Good. Let me make sure my phone is off, and then so the class will not be disturbed by anyone. Okay, good. So now, and using your hand to guide your knees, outward circling. Good. If you're sitting, pick up your heels, and you do outward circling as well. Now reverse. Wonderful. Next, I will do the front lunges for you in sideways so you can see better. And your right foot in the front. You're using your left hand pushing your hip forward, and make sure your knee stay either above or behind your heel. And now you just do downward pausing. If you're sitting, bring the knee to your chest and sit up straight and bring the knee all the way in, hugging it really tight as you inhale and exhale. Now switch. Now left foot in the front, right foot in the back. And again, downward pausing, not forward pushing, and knee to the chest. Very good. And last one, good. Next, we're doing side lunges. If you're standing, open your legs as wide as you can and shift your body weight to your right side. Don't turn your body like this. Body square facing the front, and do a little pausing. And you're sitting. Yes, gently pressing down your right knee and do the pausing. Very, very good. Okay, now switch to the left side. Okay, and pick up your left leg if you're sitting. Good. Good. Now kick from behind. Good. And now place your right toes in the back, using your right knee to draw circles. And if you're sitting, good. Keep your back upright straight. Wonderful. And reverse. Now switch. Left toes. Good. And reverse. Good. Well, tap on your legs, relax the muscles. Next, what are we going to do? 8 sections of brocade. Yeah, exactly. I do this every day, and even when I'm on vacation, and because it's so good. Feet together, relax your mind, relax your body, and make sure your upper body upright, your head suspended, and shift your body weight to your right side, and lift your left foot into the side. And now Run the hands to the front, in front of your lower ab. And bend your knees. Feel like you're sitting on a high stool if you're standing, okay? And gently inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Now bring two hands together, flip the palms upward and push toward the ceiling. And now look straight and open. And once again, up and look straight. Feel your lower back arched out, and that really can help to relieve the pain and discomfort in your lower ab. Very good. 两手托天理三焦 Look up, look straight and open. This exercise is great for the health of the spine, the shoulders, the lower back, and the triple warmer. Next one, if you're standing, open your legs wide, but make sure your toes not fanning out like that. Bring your toes in, and both hands cross in front of your chest. Slowly pull your arms apart, left arm straight to the side, right elbow bent to the side. Now look at your left index finger and open your right arm. Look at your right hand, cross, and look at your right fingertip and cross and pull. Make sure you only turn your head, not your body. Body squarely facing the front. Good. Pull and open your right. 左右开弓四射雕 Bow and arrow is great for the health of the lungs and the heart. And pull. And last set, first on the left. And now let's finish it up on your right. Good. Now both hands facing up. Slowly bring your left hand up through the center line of your body. And now you twist. So your left hand facing the ceiling, right hand pushing down, facing the floor. See right fingers point forward. Good. And bring them together. Now right up, left down. Good. Left up, right down. Good. 调理脾胃虚单举 This exercise help with the, how should I say, the stomach and spleen. Very good. Okay. And last one. Wonderful. Now both hands down in front of your lower ab. Slowly open, turn the palms out and flip the palms out. Can you see flipping the palms out? Now turn your head, only look at left without turning the body and back. Look at right and back. 五劳七伤往后瞧 turning the head like a wise owl, not turning the body. This is great for the health of the liver, the digestive tract, and get rid of the fatigue. Very good. Can you feel the tingling sensations in your fingers? I can. It's wonderful. So now I have fat fingers. Okay, and the next one, open your legs wide if you're standing and both hands on your thigh. And if you're sitting, and make sure uh, your legs go out at a 45-degree angle. You don't want the legs so close or too wide, 45-degree angle, and place your hands on the knee. And if you're sitting or standing, keep your upper body upright and your back relatively flat, okay? Now lower your head to the right knee and circle to left and keep circling and relax. Now reverse and keep your back as flat as you can. I guess in aerobic class, they call it tabletop. Yeah, tabletop. Okay, and now from left to right. Good. And if you're standing, and make sure you don't pull your knees in as you swing your head to the other side. And this exercise can help to reduce the inflammation in the body. 摇头摆尾去心火. Good. Now push yourself up and both hands up, okay, and slowly bring down in front of your chest, flip the palm. Now hands to the back, touching your kidneys, and we need to bend over and down. And as we do that, we run our hands behind the legs and make sure your knees are straight if you're standing. Now let's do it. Down, 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 and move arms to the ears, and then coming up, all three together. Okay. If you're sitting, and then make sure you really run the hands behind the legs. Here, toes, ears, up. Previously, I demonstrate for folks who cannot bend forward and down, and you can pop up your legs, and then so you don't need to bend forward and down. And the key is run the hands behind the legs and be mindful and guide your energy going down and behind your legs, and go down to the heels, to the toes. This exercise is great for the health of the kidneys. 双手攀足固肾腰. Good. Last one. Now bring the hands down and open hands up and bend the thumbs and 4 fingers wrap around the thumb and bring the fist to your waist. If you're standing, you can do high stand, medium, or low stand. And now right fist out, open turn your wrist. Yeah, and open your eyes big and wide, staring really, really far. You can stare my way. I am in Las Vegas. So you can just stare really, really far, far away. This is an eye exercise. Nowadays we use screens a lot, cell phones, iPads, computer. These are all near distance. So we really need to look far and look far away. Good. And that's another good thing, and try to go outside and go outdoor and either look at a river or ocean or mountain, whatever. Just look far away. And so we need to make that adjustment for our eyes. Otherwise, it's really bad for the health of the eye. And next one, up on the heels and down. As your heels come down, do not use any force. Just let it come down naturally. Okay. Two more. Last one. Good. Like I say, I am so excited. I'm ready for the training. Yes, yes, yes. And even though I'm sore, but I think it will be really good to train today with Sifu Bill Donnelly. As I mentioned, Bill, he is very, very solid in his knowledge, his skill. And the man has a high integrity, so he always does these things, without any how should I say, compromise. So that's great, and he himself, and he is well trained in the Yang style system, Yang style Tai Chi system, as well as some other martial art. So without further ado, let me welcome Bill come to the class. Hey, Roya and Rima, thank you very much for you guys comment. And I know you, Roya and Rima, you've been sharing the classes with your friends on Facebook, and I really appreciate that. That really benefit more people and to have access to the free lessons and to better their health. Let me bring Bill to the studio. Hey, good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. It looks like now the skylight doesn't shine as bad as before. So this is great.
Yes, the sun moved away.
Yes. This is good. As I mentioned to the audience, Bill, you always do things with integrity. And Bill is the one, every time he comes to the class, he will arrive early, and then we will test out the logistic items and make sure everything is the best it can be. And I really appreciate your effort, and thank you so much. So I'm going to get out and I'm going to get some training from you. Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you, Violet, for having me back. Violet took a little time off over the summer, if you remember. So I feel like she brought me back for season 2 of Violet Lee and Friends. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all that she does to bring this wonderful art to so many people around the globe. So some of the things that we'll talk about today, maybe will be grounded in one concept that I like to think about. And anybody who's practiced Tai Chi for a while will be familiar with the idea that in Qigong and Tai Chi, the Yi, or the mind, or intention, leads the Qi. The Yi is the intention that directs our body's energy through our muscles so that it can perform an action. So thought becomes action. And for me, I realized that practicing the form we focus our attention on each technique, which is the action of the movement. So in essence, this is an act of creation as a living expression. Action provides experience. And we train over long periods of time so that this thought to action process occurs without interference. If there's any interference at all, it really comes from our own ego or from the outside world. So the way to develop that internal mode of experience is to try to gradually reduce that outside interference. And over time, you learn to listen to and live within life's law. And you come to know that in this world, there's really nothing more important than that. You start to really understand human nature through the study of life, which I think is what Taiji really teaches us. And that ultimately leads to our own self-understanding. That's certainly what I've gotten out of it over the years of practice, and hope to continue to do that. And I hope that I can share a little bit of that with you today. So what we're going to do today is we are going to work on the first little piece of the Yang long form. This is the form as I have learned it, and there might be some things that I do that are a little bit different than some of the other masters that are out there. It's based on my own experience, my body type, what I think might be important in the form. So that puts the art part of martial arts back into it. So I'm going to share with you my experience, and hopefully you'll find it helpful. Okay, so let's get started. What we're going to do just to start, and I hope you can see me because I see there's a little bit of light there. The first thing we are going to do is worry about the legs and the stance training. I've seen a lot of teachers that when they train, they're training the students entire pieces of the form, and it's very confusing. There is literally a yin-yang relationship between the upper and lower body in most of the positions that we're learning here. The way I've trained is we've done a lot of stance work, and to me it's helped develop more of a bottoms-up approach, and so we're going to work with that a little bit now. First, we'll start with opening up into a horse stance. There's different ways of doing this, so you may find that you're going to swing out into an hourglass step, or for somebody who's just beginning and maybe is not 100% sure of how to start, we can do it by the numbers, and we'll do that here today. Basically, what I'm going to do is kick out my toes and then kick out my heels. I'm going to kick out my toes again and then kick out my heels. So my feet are now parallel, almost like I'm standing on railroad track. Okay, my knees are out over my toes, they're not caved. Okay, and so this will provide a great stability. Based on your level of experience and your physical health, you can sink this down by 1/2 inch to 1 inch. You can sink it down more than that, or you can bring it all the way down as far as you can go. Okay, whatever works for you is fine, because we'll be here for a while. I'm not going to go all the way down. I'll sink down so that I'm engaging my leg muscles. Okay, I'm going to cover a couple of stances, then we're going to do a couple of drills, then we're going to do it in sequence, and then we're going to add the hands. Okay, so first one, basic one, many of you already know it, but it's shifting from the horse stance to the bow and arrow stance. I'm going to move to my left, and to do that, I'm going to start with my left heel. This is where the intention comes in. I want to really trace the chain of reaction, or the chain, or the kinetic chain, as they call it, that's going to move up through my body, which will eventually be expressed in my hands. That starts by turning my heel, which then turns my knee, which then turns my hip. Okay? and we're going to roll back to that. I am lifting that heel slightly off the ground so that I can roll on the ball of my foot. You don't have to bring it up very high. I look at it as, when it's done well, when I've seen masters do it, it almost just looks like they're almost ice skating. The other thing to keep in mind is that, imagine that there's a plumb line stretching from the floor, the ceiling to the floor, through the crown of the head, and now out through the bottom. So as I'm turning, I don't want to lean back, and I don't want to lean forward, okay? I want a nice, clean rotation, okay? And then I'll lift that heel slightly and come back. We're going to try one more time to my left. Slightly lift that heel. Think about heel, knee, and hip. Turn back. Let's turn to the right side. So I'm going to lift slightly my left heel, turning the left knee, turning the left hip. And then lift and return to your horse position. Turn one more time. Okay, great. The next thing we're going to do is we'll turn to our right bow and arrow position. I'm going to slightly open up that front foot, and I'm going to draw my left foot up behind it. Okay? Okay? I think in Cantonese this would be goima. But Violet can correct me on that if I'm wrong. Okay? But you'll notice that both knees are bent. Okay? And this is almost like a modified bow and arrow stance. If I'm in my bow and arrow, the relationship of the feet is a little wider, and I'm just drawing up this back leg. All my weight is in the front leg. Okay? Let's shift it back. We're in our horse stance. I'm turning into my right bow stance. I'm going to slightly open up that front toe, and I'm going to draw up the back foot. Okay? One more time. Turn into your bow and arrow stance. And draw up into your goima. Okay? From here, I'm going to kick up and rotate and step back into my bow stance. Okay? So let's work that one more time because that's a little bit tricky. And I'm going to try to talk about weight distribution. In my horse stance, into my bow and arrow stance. I'm going to slightly open that stance, draw it into my goima. Okay? Here, I'm keeping my center line. Most of my weight is on my front leg, my right leg. And now I'm going to shift that weight forward, lift the foot and kick. And as I'm stepping back, I'm going to try to move that leg in a straight line. One of the biggest errors I see in my beginning students is that as they're rotating the leg up, they, for some reason, want to step out to the side. And they fall over. We don't want that. So what I think about is, it's almost like you're spinning like a wheel. I'm in my goima. And then I'm rotating that leg up, coming straight back. Okay, let's come back to horse. I'm going to try that one more time. Turn into your bow and arrow stance. Slightly open your step, your front step. Shift your weight forward into a goima. Kick. And shift back. Okay? Let's try a couple on the left side. Turn to your left bow stance. Slightly open the foot. Draw the back foot up for a goima. Okay? We're going to rotate the foot up. And kick back. We're returning to our bow and arrow stance. Let's come back to horse. Right heel turns, right knee turns, right hip turns. Open up your front stance. Draw the back leg up. Weight's all on the front leg. kick, rotate, and shift back. Okay, I'm going to do it just one more time. Bow and arrow. Shift your weight forward. Kick. Shift back. Back to bow. Okay. Those are probably the key. Now what we'll do is we'll string together some stances. And we'll go through that a couple times and then we'll add the hands. Okay? So starting with our feet together, we're going to step out into our bow stance now. As I'm doing this, I'm going to shift my weight so my left leg will become empty, my right leg becomes full, and I'm going to lift with my left knee. I'm going to lift that up, so now I'm on my toe. I'm going to come out to the edge of my left foot and shift back into place. Why am I doing that? The reason why is because, as I said earlier, we want to try to stay in contact with the ground just as much as we can. That's really where our rooting is. It maintains our sensitivity and balance. So, shifting my weight to the right leg, up onto my toe, and step out. Okay, from here, I'm going to go into my right bow and arrow stance. I'm going to shift slightly, open up that front foot, shift it to my goemon. I'm going to kick and shift into my bow and arrow stance. I'm going to turn back into my horse. I'm going to turn to my left bow and arrow stance. I'm going to open up that front foot slightly and shift my weight forward. And then I'm going to kick. Shifting back into my bow and arrow, back into my horse. Okay, next thing, I will move into my right bow and arrow stance. I'm going to shift my weight to the back leg, making sure that I don't lock the front knee, and then I'm going to shift my weight forward. Okay, so let's just shift it back and shift it forward. Things to look out for here is as you're shifting back is that you're not rising up and sinking. What I want to do is maintain a level plane. So I'm shifting back. Keeping my center nice and relaxed. Okay? I'm going to move to my horse. I'm going to bring my left leg in to my right. And then I'm going to step out again. Back my horse. I'm going to go into a left bow stance. I'm going to bring the feet together now, the right to left, and now with the right leg stepping out, kicking, and landing on my heel. Shift your weight forward to the right leg. I'm going to now pivot to my left. And as I do that, I'm going to bring the left leg forward and land in a cat stance. Okay? So let's try that sequence one more time, maybe twice, and then we'll add the hands. Okay? So, I'm shifting my weight to the right leg, lifting the knee, step out to the edge of the foot, the left foot, and shift my weight into place, making sure that I'm balanced. I'm going to shift into a right bow stance. I'm going to open up that front stance slightly and move into a goemon. Kick with the left heel, circle, and shift back into your bow and arrow stance, and then into your horse stance. We're going to turn to the left with the left bow and arrow stance. Slightly open up your front step. Shift your weight forward into a goemon. And then we're going to go right through that into a kick. into your bow and arrow stance. Come back to your horse. We'll turn to the right bow and arrow stance. I'm going to shift your weight back. And I'm going to shift the weight forward. We're going to move to your horse. I'm going to close my stance by bringing the left leg to the right. And then I'm going to open it up into my horse. I'm going to shift into a left bow stance. Now I'm going to close my stance by bringing the right into left. I'm going to kick with my right heel and bring it down slow as you can. So I land on the ground, and it's false, so we'll use the leaf falling on the ground. I want to just let it rest. Here, I'll shift forward. I'm going to turn to my left. I'm going to draw into my cat stance. Okay, one more time. Try and go through it a little bit faster. Shifting your weight to the right leg. Lift to your left toe. Step out to the left. Use this time to make sure that you're feeling centered and balanced. Once you've done that, we're going to turn to the right bow stance. We're going to open up the foot, shift the weight forward into Goemon, kick, and shift back. Back to your horse stance. We're going to shift to the left bow stance, open up our stance slightly, and now I'm going to kick with the right leg and shift back. We're going to bow and arrow stance, turn into your horse. From here, we'll shift to your right bow and arrow stance. We're going to shift the weight to the back leg. We'll shift it forward. We'll turn back into our horse stance. I'm going to close my stance by bringing the left to the right. And I'm going to open it back up again. I'm going to turn to my left bow stance. And now I'm going to close my stance by bringing the right into left. I'm going to add a kick. Okay, and then slowly let that down. I'm going to shift my weight forward. And I'm going to turn into a left cat stance. Okay, great. So now we'll add the hands. And as we start to go through the sequence, you're going to see that some of the stances that we do are all related, but there will be some slight variations to what we just did. So it's not a mistake, it's actually by intention. Before we start the form, I want to talk about this position. Most of the time when people want to do their form, they get up and they start moving right into it. But I've come to realize that this position is just as important as everything we do in the form. It is Wuji, which means, to me, everything is in balance, okay? And there is a state of insubstantial. If you think about it in cosmological terms, this might be the point that existed just before the Big Bang Theory. And of course, once the Big Bang happened, it releases positive and negative energies. Wuji becomes Taiji. So really, this point before we move is that state of emptiness. I think it's worth cultivating because most people, when they think of emptiness, they equate it with loss. And because of that, that sense of emptiness can create anxiety or fear. But if we understand that you have to have emptiness or insubstantial before you can have substantial, then it changes how we think about this one part of our lives. So, me as a musician, I always say it like this: a musician cannot make a sound unless there's silence. That's insubstantial and substantial. An artist cannot paint without the canvas being blank. And a writer can't write on a page that's already filled with words. You must have emptiness. So taking some time to cultivate this part of ourselves before we start the form, I think is a really great thing and worth pursuing through still meditation and things like that. Okay? Okay, so we've been still long enough. So we're going to start our form adding the hands. I'm now shifting my weight to the right leg and stepping out. We all know this. Inhale and rise up. And as I exhale, I'm going to let the legs sink, let the shoulders sink, let the elbows sink, let the hands follow. From here, I'll move into Pong position. And I'm going to change my stance to my right bow. And I'm going to now shoot the right hand forward. Sorry, get that a little wrong. Okay? Just watch this position for a second. Okay? Start from the beginning, and then I'm going to take you through that section. Shift the weight to the right leg. Step in. Inhale. And exhale. Palm. Move to your right bow. Into your goima. Kick. I'm in my horse. Bow and arrow, rather. I'm going to shift into your horse. I'm going to form the ball. And then I'm going to move into my left bow and arrow stance and play grasp the swallow's tail. I'm going to form the ball, and I'm going to bring that right foot up. And now if you need to stop for a goemon, you can do that, or follow through and kick. Shift your weight back. Return to horse. I'm going to move into what we consider the cornerstones of the form. I'm going to move into my palm. Roll back. Press. Clear. Here's my shifting the weight back. I'm going to push. Okay? Let's try that sequence again. In violet, I cannot see a clock, so if I'm running over, just step in.
Well, you're doing very well. And you know what? Earlier I was saying my arms are sore, but now my legs are sore, thanks to you. And well, keep going. You have another 7.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to try to move faster. I think I'm talking a lot today. So, okay, so we're going to step out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Turn to your right bow. This is a variation of grasp swallow's tail. I'm going to kick. Move back into my bow and arrow stance. I'm going to form the ball. My right hand's over the left. I'm going to move into my left bow and arrow stance. My left grasps arrow's tail. I'm going to shift that weight forward for a right kick. And step back. Shift. I like to sink here and rise up to my ward off. Roll back. Press. I like to clear the wrist, shifting my weight back, and press forward. Shift the weight back, and turn. I'm going to drop that right hand down, circle it up my center line, form the V can, bring my left to my right shoulder. Step out into my horse stance. Clear. I'm going to rotate, heel, knee, hips, and finally express. Single whip. Okay. Start with feet together. Wuji. Step out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Kick. Shift back. Inhale. Turning to the left. Grasp arm's tail. Kick with the right leg. Shift your weight all the way back. Horse. Sink. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Clear. Shift your weight back. Push forward. Now here, I kind of release and let the hands level. Turning the left hand out, the right hand slightly up. Rotating from my hip. Drop that right hand. Come up the center line. Close your stance. Form the V-can. Clear. I'm going to step out into my horse. Heel, knee, and hip. Settle. Drop the right arm down. Bring the feet together. And now, as I'm kicking, I'm also going to shoot out that right hand. Settle. Good. Let's start again. We're almost at the end. Let's go. Step out with your left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Let everything relax and sink. Palm. Bow. Woima. Kick. Shift. Back. Bow and arrow. Horse. Left grasp swallow's tail. Make the ball. Kick. Back into your bow and arrow. Horse. Sink. Ward off and exhale. Roll back. Inhale. And exhale. Clear. Inhale. And exhale. Shift back to your center position. Turn. Rotate the hands slightly. Up your center line to the V-can. Close your stance. Step into your horse. Clearing into my bow and arrow stance to settle that strike. Dropping the right hand down. Bring the 2 feet together. Shooting out the right fingers. Kick. Let that kick settle. Now I'm going to shift that weight forward. Might be a little hard to see at this angle, so I'm going to just show you here. I'm going to bring my right hand up, my left down, and I'm going to open. Okay, so from here, as I shift, I drop that right down, my left, coming up, and I'm going to settle into my cat stance. And if you really work at that, make it look pretty, you can get to a cover of a magazine. I think it looks great. Okay, I think we probably have time for one more version, maybe two. So let's.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, we'll do two more times. Okay, so we're gonna shift your weight, step out, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Okay, one more time. Hopefully you're feeling really good. And hopefully I spoke to you in a way that helped you get through this. And go. Shift your weight. Step out. Inhale, raise the chi. Inhale, sink it down. Palm. Go into your Goemon. Kick. Bow and arrow. Inhale, grasp sparrow's tail to the left. Kick. Bow and arrow. Horse. Sink. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Clear. Push. Center. Rotate from the hip. Right hand comes up the center line into beak hand. Step out. Rotate. Single whip. Drop the right arm down. Kick. Shift into your cat. Left cat. Hands come up. White crane spreads its wings. Okay, and then with that, take a deep breath. And relax. Hopefully that was good for everyone.
Well, that was really, really nice. I have to say, this type of training is a lot more advanced training. And if you, the audience, if you have taken the lesson I was teaching about the sparrow's tail, you definitely can see a huge difference between what I taught and versus Bill. Bill is very, very meticulous about all the movement, and it's definitely requires much higher level of training. And yeah, if you only do it for to increase your oxygen level, and you can do the one like I did, and based on this book, what it says, and very relaxing way. But if you want to get into a higher level, your Tai Chi and Kung Fu, and definitely follow Bill's. And I got a comment from someone. They were saying, "Well, you look very, very nice, but if people have some balance issue, it's very difficult to follow. And my advice for sorry, for everyone, even though I don't really have a balance issue, but I myself actually have a little bit hard time to follow you, because it is we turning direction, and then you're trying to look at it, you throw your own balance off. I'm sorry.
No,
So
I mean, exactly. I mean, it's one of the challenges of trying to teach through video and communicate all of this stuff. You know, I don't know about you, but for me, it's you have one mind on what you're trying to do. Another part of you is trying to figure out how to communicate it, and then you've got to keep an eye on the video. So it can be hard. And I know it can be challenging for people that are trying to learn by video, because I might say, well, this is my right hand, but to them, it's their left because they're facing me. And how do you work all of that out? I trained for so many years by watching my Sifu through a mirror that I was able to, I got so good at reversing the image that went on vacation once up in the mountains of Greece. We were doing the Zorba de Greek dance that everybody sees, and everybody thinks the dance is up here where everybody's interlocking arms. The dance is in the footwork, and it's very complex. And what I was able to do is reverse my imagery so I can see what they were doing, and I can kind of imitate it as best I could. But without having the ability to do that, I would have been completely lost. So
yes,
I try to stick an arm out and say I'm going this way, so that there's a heads up, and hopefully that's helpful. But I would
that was very helpful. What I was going to say to suggest to the audience is because this is a really high level training, and also a lot of time is because if you're watching another person doing it, and it is difficult to maintain your own balance. So I would suggest you go on my YouTube channel, and on YouTube you can change the speed of the playback time. So you can play this slow, and then you can pause. So like you watch Bill, and for this movement, say on one side, and then you play it very slow, so you know exactly where he's going. And now you remember that, and then you go on practice without looking at that, and then not just following because it is difficult. So you just remember that section, you pause it, and then once you learn that, then you go forward. Because I think with Bill's training is excellent. It can help us not just physically getting stronger and make your Tai Chi Chuan a skill much more elevated. It also is good for the brain because it requires us really pay attention to the details. But you need a tool, and I will post my YouTube channel link. Then you go on the YouTube, and I don't know if everyone know there's like a gear type of icon. You click on that, and then you can change the playback speed. No, it's normal speed of 0.75 or 0.5 or 0.25. So you can slow the speed and really watch Bill slowly and doing it. And then, but like I said, you're watching one movement at a time. And then so you figure, okay, I got it. And I just now watching him, I pause it, then I do it. And once I get it, and I move on to the next movement. And I think it will be really, really good for both brain and body. So yeah, that's what just a little tip I want to share with the audience. And I think, Bill, you did an excellent job. It is very good. Very, very good. Thank you so much. I know you're very busy with your work, and I hope you can come back soon. And
I will be here.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And everyone, and if you have any questions for me or for Bill, and just drop a note on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're watching It could be um, uh, LinkedIn or Tumblr, whatever, and Twitter, and just let us know, and we will reply to you. Okay, thank you so much,
Okay.
everyone. Okay, have a very nice weekend.
You
Okay,
too.
bye.